Hello, Flosstube. My name is Carolyn. Welcome to my channel, Stitching and Stashing. It is July 22nd, and this is my second Flosstube. For those of you who watched my first one, thank you very much. And for those of you who subscribed and liked, I really appreciated it. If you are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by today, and we'll spend some time talking about cross stitching. A little bit of a life update first. Since I saw you last, my youngest son has started driving. He got his permit, so that has been something new for us. The driving school takes them out for X number of hours, and fortunately, they were the first ones to take him on the highway. I didn't have to do that first, which I was very glad. He's been doing great. Just another sign that he's growing up, though. Also, since I saw you last, we have done a bathroom remodel, or almost a complete one. And by we, I mean the contractor. My husband and I really don't do those kinds of projects. So that's been going on. We've been down a bathroom, or at least part of a bathroom, for a while. And hopefully on Monday we'll get the top for the vanity end with the sink. That's the only thing that we're missing right now. So hopefully that's going to be done Monday or Tuesday of next week. Also, my summer is winding down. I am a school teacher, so I've been enjoying my extra stitchy time since school has been out. It's been a rough year and a half, the last year and a half of school, as it's been for everybody. So this next year hopefully will be a little bit back to normal, but we'll have to teach the kids again what normal really means and procedures and all of that. So I'll have to start getting things ready for that here before too long. So I'll have to give up some stitchy time, which is kind of sad. Okay, let's get into some stitching today. I'm going to start out with some previous finishes. These are things that I've done in the past before I even knew about Flosstube. And one is not an FFO, it's still just a finished piece. But it is the Sampler Company by Brenda Keys, and it's called Floral Sampler. I saw this stitched in Tulsa at the Silver Needle and fell in love with that. And so I started it, and then I stopped stitching it whenever I was not quite halfway, or maybe about halfway. But this is the finished piece. Lots of green, different shades of green, and then lots of pink as well. It's pretty much full coverage except for that center part. And the other thing that was kind of challenging on this is in each of the corner motifs, that is a half stitch background. So all of that's over one. So that was very tiny. It was time consuming, and probably why I put it away for a while. I think I had about down to here done on both sides, and the middle done whenever I stopped. But then once I picked it back up, I just got going on it and finished that up this year. And this is one that I will take to the framer. I am starting to get a little braver on finishing items, but for something that took that long and is that big, I don't trust myself to frame it. Another previous finish I did years ago, and it is Midsummer Night Designs Quaker Values. And this is my first and only piece that I have on 40 count fabric, and it was back whenever I could see a little bit better. But this is that piece. Sorry for the glare, I'm still working on lighting on my floss tubes here, but I'll do a little close-up as much as I can. Go back that way. And I just love all of the words and the motifs on this. And again, that's on some 40 count fabric. I'm not even sure what kind anymore. And I did use all of the called for fancy floss on that. So those are a couple of my previous finishes. Then I'll show you some finishes that I've done a little bit more recently, some FFOs. This one I stitched, but a friend of mine actually did the finishing on it, and this is, there's that other sticky note I lost earlier. This is Oh Christmas Tree by Lizzie Kate, and I stitched it, and then my friend finished it for me, just like the kit calls for. It has a little rickrack and a little band and material at the bottom, and she just did a great job of finishing this for me. That's Oh Christmas Tree by Lizzie Kate. Then I have another Prairie Skewer finish. This is Kris Kringle, and I did this one. Right, no, I did this one right here. Sorry, it goes backwards for me, I guess. And that I just finished in a little pillow as well. I've done one of those, one of the other ones on that pattern, and I finished it the same way, just a little snowflake on the back. So just a little pillow finish. And I'm missing a pillow. Maybe that's what my dog was looking for a minute ago. I'll show that one in just a moment. Then I also FFO'd Shannon Christine Designs July 4th. I loved this pattern. It was so fun to stitch. I loved the fireworks on it. This one is not staying in the frame very well. I think I cut it just like a smidge too short, so I'm going to have to get a magnet and washer and just kind of hook it in there. But that's my FFO on that. And that was fun. That's on a 32 count Lugana, I do believe. And I just used the called for colors, which were DMC on that one. And then I did Heart and Hands Wee Joy, and this has been stitched for a pretty long time. It's just been in my thing to finish, and I finally did so this last week. I bought this frame at Hobby Lobby. It was probably 50% off. It has something about a dog underneath it, but I didn't need it. So I just used the frame for that, and I just like the little wood beads and stuff. I'm probably going to take that to school just to remind my students that we can find joy in every day. And then this one I also made to take to school. This is Today is a Good Day by Bent Creek. And the called for on that is Weeks Dye Works Coal or DMC Black. But I didn't want to do that. So I did it in purple, which is my favorite color. And I bought some little purple buttons to go where they had little black buttons. And so today is a good day to have a good day. I thought I would take that up to the school as well and try to encourage my students to have good days. The next pattern that I have is, I'm going to have to show you a picture from the internet. It was Happy Fall, Y'all by Little Stitch Girl. And this is my favorite finish. I was pretty proud of how it came out. There's the stitching side. Happy Fall, Y'all. And then I just did the black and white check on the back. And I felt like this pillow turned out really well. I got it really full, and my stitching came out okay on the bottom. I'm not real patient, so that's why some of my stitching is not the best, but I feel like this one turned out a little bit better, so hopefully I'm getting better at the ladder stitch. I'm closing up the backs of my stitching. Okay, the next finish I have, these are not FFOs. This is part of my stash, my starts and my finishes and Jolly July. It kind of all rolls into one. I bought off of Leela's Studios Spirit of Christmas Set 1 and Set 2, and I just thought these were gorgeous. they just reached out, and I just loved them. So that was part of my stash, and also I started and finished Love as part of Jolly July, and Faith. And I hope to get at least one more done. I do want to do all 8 of them, and I'll probably do little pillow finishes out of all of those. Again, that is by Leela's Studio, and I got those off of her Etsy shop online. And I'm doing those on 32 count summer khaki. And it does have some fancy floss that's called for, but she also gives a DMC conversion. And I did use some fancy floss on the first one that I did, but I didn't see a lot of variation in any of the colors, and so I just decided to go full on DMC for the rest of them, and I think that they'll be just fine in those colors. Then another finish I had this month was Flea Market Flowers. I'm sure all of you have seen this one. I believe a lot of you are stitching that one. I finished just a few days after the end of June on this, and there's my finish. I just used a 32 count white Lugana. 32 count's kind of my favorite count to go with. Lugana is also one of my favorite materials, and so I did that, and then I just used all the called for colors, which are DMC colors, and it was fun to watch on the stitch along all of the different people finishing at different times or making it their own in some way. Saw some cute additions to the pattern on a couple of people's on Instagram. That was kind of nice. And then another finish I think this is my last finish. For Mania, I had started Summer Sampler by Waxing Moon Designs. I'm kind of into the sunflowers and the bees, so I did that, and this is the finished product. I usually don't change much. I'm not real comfortable making changes, but this time I did take the little cat out. I'm not much of a cat person, and so the little cat down in the corner, I just took it out, and I was going to try to chart an extra grape leaf or group of grapes or something, and then I decided it would be easier just to finish the fence out, so I just did that. And so I don't know yet how I'm going to finish that. I don't know if it'll be in a little frame or it's too big really for a pillow, so I'll have to come up with something for that. Okay, now on to my whips. This is one that is going to take a while. It's a Carolyn Manning design called Yo-Yos, and I think I just saw someone on Instagram or Flosstube mention that there's actually a stitch along for Carolyn Manning right now. So that's my little small start. After some of my projects, this seemed to have a lot of color changes in it, so I wasn't used to that, the colors changing quite so quickly. It's going to take a little while. I'll have to be in the mood to stitch on that. But I thought if I could, get 3 or 4 of the little circles done each week, that wouldn't be too bad and wouldn't take too long, I guess. I said I don't do many changes, but this is one that I decided I was going to step out of my comfort zone and try to get done because I'll show you the pattern first. This is called Fall Scarecrow Banner, and it's by Mosey and Me, and I have had this in my stash forever. I've had it for so long, I don't even know how long, and it hasn't gotten done because it calls for thread gatherers, sheep silk, and rainbow gallery threads, and I don't have either one of those. And so after watching Flosstube since March, whenever I found this lovely rabbit hole, I decided, why can't I switch out the colors? And so I looked at the front and pulled colors, and then I've actually already made some changes. This is the progress I have on it so far. I have one of the crows done. I have his hat done. I've started his face. He's got his cheeks and his nose. almost completed on his cheeks. Now, what I noticed was on the front, the hat band and his shirt are both purpley, which I love purple. That's my favorite. So I didn't have a problem with that. But the pattern itself says that one of these, this dark color, is actually a green. So I tried green and purple and pulled it out. I did not like it at all. And so I decided I was going to do denim, a denim look. And so his hat band now has the light blue and dark blue. I also need to go back in. There's some little places. I think I'm going to put red in those cross places. And then also I'm going to do the shirt the same way. I'm going to do it in denim as well. And that way it kind of matches the way that this one matches. Also, I'm not sure that I'm going to put the little pumpkin squares on the side. I'll be honest, now I see the pumpkin very clearly, but whenever I was looking at that for a little while, I didn't even realize that that was the pumpkin. So I don't know if I'm going to put that in there or not. I also have thought about not doing the border, which would mean I don't do the top bird either. So I think I'm kind of building this thing as I go to see how it looks, what it looks like, if I'm going to like it. So I'm going to get his face finished and his shirt finished, and then kind of decide what else I'm going to put on here, and just see how my little scarecrow turns out. But I'll be glad to get that one done because it's been in my stash for a really long time. Another one I've had for quite a while is the Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve. And since it's Jolly July, I decided to work on this. This is being done on a 32 count Murano, but I'm not sure the colorway on it. It's darker than what was called for, so I put in some of the browns that were called for just to make sure that they were going to show up, and they do. So I did part of the reindeer, and then I went down and did that little house. Those were the two browns, and so I just wanted to make sure that they were going to show up. So I just need to get back to that and finish that. It probably will not get done this month, but hopefully by Christmas. And right now, it's being kept in my crawfish bag or lobster bag. I'm not sure which one it is. But a friend of mine sews and I don't. So I asked her if she would be up to making some project bags for me. And so I pay her to make them, and I buy the stuff, and she makes them, and she does a really great job. So I was glad to get that one. I just got a Christmas one from her today, but it's not back here. So that's why that one's in the crawfish bag instead of a Christmas bag. The next thing I worked on was Indigo Lane by Brenda Gervais. I think this is so pretty and can't wait to get to some of those blues. But this month I built the house. I only had like just a little bit here done. I didn't have the windows done at all. So I did quite a bit on getting the house done this month. I really like it. I like stitching houses, which is good because whenever I was looking for something online to get a picture of for the video, I found about 6 more patterns that had houses on them. And I hope I like houses because I'm also doing Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I know Ginger Shoal on Instagram just finished hers, and it is gorgeous. And of course it made me want to pull mine back out, so I did. And this is where I am right now. I have that much done. This month I put in FGI, VW, and that whole motif down at the bottom. This whole thing I put in. Oops, sorry, my hand goes backwards. This way. And then I started some more border, but I haven't gotten very far over here. But yes, it's so pretty and it's so nice to work on. So far I've worked on Christmas, spring, summer, patriotic. You can probably tell I am an eclectic stitcher. I like all types of stitching. I like big things, I like small things, medium things. If the pattern appeals to me, I go for it. Something, sorry, I thought I had my pictures all pulled up. Maybe it's not in my pictures. The last whip that I have is one I'm sure you've all seen, and that is Modern Folk Embroideries 2021 Sal. Looks like that. Whoa, no it doesn't. Sorry about that. Looks like that. And this was their color suggestion in blues, but like I told you, I love purple. And so I have been working on this month. I did not start this until April. I didn't even know about Modern Folk Embroidery until I started watching Flosstube. And so this, I'm going to probably always be behind, but I am finished with May and getting close to a finish on June. Last time I was working on the fill-in around this tree, and there was a lot of light purple in that stitching. And then I had to go over here to the side. Sorry, I'm not holding this up very well. Had to go over to the side, and then I've been working on this, which I had put on Instagram how much stitching this was over here. Well, of course, it's symmetrical, so there's going to be a lot of stitching over here. And then somebody also pointed out that there are 2 places like that on the bottom to make it again symmetrical. So lots and lots of stitching. This one is very stitch heavy, but I love it. And sometimes I feel like big projects tend to overwhelm me, or people in general. They get kind of tired of them, or they feel like it's frustrating because it's so big or whatever. But that one always relaxes me. I can be stitching anything and be enjoying it, and then I pick that piece up and I almost feel even more relaxed. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of fun to stitch. Okay, we're going to move on to my haul, and I have a little bit. It's not as bad as I thought it was when I started pulling things in. At least I hope it's not too bad. I don't know. I've seen worse. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. I just needed some threads from 1-2-3 Stitch, so I just various threads for various projects, so I did get those in this week. And I also ordered this, and I know that probably a lot of you already have that, but it's just the DMC color book, and this one is the one that actually has the threads on it, and I love it. At first I was like, yeah, I'll order it, but I don't know that I'll use it very often. I've already used it several times, and I've only had it for about a week. So I was really glad that I ordered that. Something else that I ordered that is fun is a thread winder. And you just take your thread and wind it around. This is 9 inches, so if you want an 18-inch thing, you just, an 18-inch length, not thing, you just wrap it all around, cut it once, and then you have 18 inches worth of thread. And I got this from R&R Woodworks in Kentucky, and they now have a website that you can order from, and this wasn't very much. I want to say it was like $7 or $8 maybe, and it's beautiful and it's very well made, so I really love that. Then I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday. I went in to get 5 DMC colors, and $100 later I was ready to leave because they have everything on sale right now. They have fall things. Their spring shop is 66% off. They have frames. They had table decor, just all sorts of things that people need for finishing or decorating or whatever. And so yes, it was 5 skeins of thread and $100 later. So I found this for a finishing piece. Thought that was kind of cute, and it was only $5.99 and in the fall section, so it was 40% off of that. So I just thought that would be a little fun for something small. And then I got some fall decorations and things. I'm going to try to make a little table decoration. We'll see how that goes. Okay, some other cross stitchy stuff that I bought. I did get my color and cotton for this month, for July. So if you've not gotten yours yet and don't want to see, you might want to turn away if you want to be surprised. But I got Harvest Moon, and this is a 32 count Lugana. Like I said, that's kind of my favorite color. That's washing it out. Yeah, that's about right. It's a nice neutral. I really like it. And so I'll have to find something to do on that. I'm sure I have a project or two that would work. And I also went ahead and joined their Floss of the Month club, or whatever they call it. And I got these 3. This is Pear, Blue Daisy, and Thistle. And let's see if I can get those to show up very good. They are kind of pastels, but very, very cute. Very pretty, springy. So I'm going to look forward to trying out some color and cotton thread. I haven't used any yet. So I kind of want to put one in a project just to say I've used it. So there's my color and cotton. From, I think whenever I ordered some threads from 123 Stitch, I thought, oh, you can't travel alone. So I bought Heartstring Samplery Festive Little Fobs Beekeeping Edition, and look at all of those fun things. So I'm looking forward to making those and putting them in a little bowl. Oh, that was the other thing Hobby Lobby had too. They have dough bowls, and they're in their fall section, so they're 40% off. So if you're looking for a dough bowl, this would be a good time to go and look for one. I also got All Hallows Eve or Quaker Pumpkins, Quaker Pumpkins, and this is by Hello by Liz Matthew. And I'm going to change it some. I saw Georgia Girl Stitching, Megan, and she did Autumn Harvest or something down here at the bottom, and then did a couple little leaves on the side, and I think where the bird was here, she put a little acorn. So she says that if you contact her, she can give you the charting for the lettering because it was hers. And so I've contacted her, and I hope I can get her lettering to put in there. And then the last piece of haul that I have, I was enabled by Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She has a Flosstube as well, and I got Oh Joyous Day, a blackbird design. And this picture I don't think does it justice. When she showed hers, it floored me. It was so stinking cute. It was so pretty, so vibrant. And so I'm looking forward to stitching that. It'll be another big piece. That'll take me a while. But yes, it's got another house. It's got flowers. It's just gorgeous. And I can't wait to stitch that. I keep making myself wait until I get a couple of more things done. I don't know why. Why do I do that? If I want to stitch it, why don't I just stitch it? Stitch what you love, right? Okay. For my plans, oh wait, no, I have one more piece of haul. Whenever I ordered from Leela's Studios, I also ordered these patterns and got them as a PDF. And there's spring. Can't do that while I'm summer. winter and autumn. I thought those were so cute. And so I ordered those and got them as PDF downloads so I can start them just whenever I can. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Okay, now for my plans, I want to stitch all the things. I don't even know where to start. I really am more of a stitch what I want to stitch each day. So I feel like whenever I make a plan, I almost get mad saying I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead. So I don't really have set plans, but I do want to do at least a couple more of the Leela Studios Christmas ornaments. I would like to get another one of those done by the end of the month since it's Jolly July. I want to definitely finish June on my Modern Folk Embroidery sale and get July started. I don't know that I can get June finished by the end of July. That's the only drawback, but it'll get done when it gets done. But I do want to finish up on that. I was really enjoying working on that yesterday, and then it got to be bedtime, and I was like, oh, I don't want to put it down. So that's probably what I'm going to stitch this afternoon. And then just work on some of my whips. I don't know which ones. I want to put in some more yo-yos on the Carolyn Manning design, and then just work on some of the whips. I tend to just look in my basket that's right by my chair and say, this is what I want to stitch today, and just go at it like that. And I probably will continue stitching as much as I can until Monday. And then Monday, I'm going to have to start giving up a little stitching time to start planning some for school. So I'm going to try to do that in the morning and get that done and out of the way by lunch maybe, and then have the afternoon to stitch or do whatever else needs to be done. So those are my plans. I do want to shout out some Flosstubers. I absolutely love watching Flosstube. It is so fun to see what everybody else is doing. Of course, it makes my wish list grow as I see new projects. But it's just such fun to watch. And so I wanted to shout out some people. One is Holly Jones, and she is also from Oklahoma. That's where I am. And I just found her in the last month or so, I think. She has 3 videos up, and she does some gorgeous stitching and some great finishing, and she's just a delight to watch. So check Holly Jones out. I also have enjoyed watching Mama Loves You GB. That's Michelle, and I love her little accent, but she does some great stuff, and she finishes a lot of her things, and so she is really fun to watch as well. And then I've been watching the Vintage Stitcher, Artie, and she's tried to do a video every day or every other day, and it's just a real short video that kind of keeps you up on what she's doing. And she has Happy Mail drawings and things like that, but she's really fun to watch. And then Annie, the Proper Stitcher, she is also a prolific stitcher and great finisher. She is so sweet and polite. Her name is the Proper Stitcher, and she seems to be that proper Southern lady. And then also Java Girl Stitches, Christy. I watched, if I find a new Flosstuber and there are tons of videos, I usually back it up about maybe 3 or 4 episodes and then watch up to the current one, because there are so many videos on some people's Flosstubes that there's no way I could start with number 1 and ever catch up. But Java Girl Stitches is one that I did that with. I watched the last 3 or 4, and now I'm going back and I'm actually watching her from the beginning. And so that's kind of my little binge right now, and she is fantastic. She can stitch so fast. She can get so many things done in a week, and she does some fabulous finishes, kind of reminiscent of Priscilla from Stitching with the Housewives. There's a bow on everything, and just love her stitching and her finishing. It's fun to watch and get inspired. So Java Girl Stitches. And then the last one is fairly new, and his name is Chris, and it's Chris Cross Stitch, but cross is an XROSS. So Chris XROSS Stitch. And if you haven't found him yet, you need to go find him. He is a hoot. He is fairly new back to cross stitch. He had stitched before in his life, but he's really gotten back into it recently. He tells some fabulous, fabulous stories. He has a heart of gold, and he wears it right on his sleeve and is not ashamed of that. And I just have enjoyed watching him and getting to know him through Flosstube. So if you haven't found him, go check him out. It'll be worth your searching for him. And I have some other ones, and I'll maybe shout them out the next time, but those are some that I have really enjoyed in the last few weeks, catching up with them. Again, I love this community that I'm a part of now, and if you have endured with me through this video, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Hopefully like the video, and leave a comment if you can. Let me know what you're stitching, or let me know where you're from. Like I said, I'm in Oklahoma City, and I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the most part, between there and Natchez, Mississippi. But we've been in Oklahoma for a long time now. So let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're stitching. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, folks, I hope that all of you have lots of time for stitching and stashing. Goodbye.